There's this narrative about building a business while raising kids that you're constantly divided, that you're always distracted and just feeling stretched thin. And while that's true, some days I definitely feel like I'm completely stretched thin. Um, a lot of people don't talk about what it looks like when your kids see you building something and then how that affects how they see themselves and what they're able to do. Hey, I'm Michaela, your 49-year-old homegirl, and I'm here to talk about style and entrepreneurship and telling little stories in between. And today I'm just telling a story about how I built my brand from nothing, basically from my kitchen. And my kids watched it all. And because of that, they are now seeing themselves as entrepreneurs and what they can do with their lives. So I started my business, Just Enjoy, back in 2019, and I have a whole video about just the starting my business and how all that happened. But basically, I was shipping orders out of the kitchen. We had a very small apartment. Kitchen was a part of the living room, which was a part of everything. So I would have all these boxes in the living room, taking up the whole space. And when orders would come in, I would pack the orders there. I was printing out labels at home and doing everything at home, mostly from the living room and kitchen. The kids saw me packing everything up. Sometimes they were helping me pack things up, helping me take things to the post office. And eventually my son, who was 6 at the time, he was like, "Mommy, I think I want to design t-shirts." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I asked him what he wanted for his t-shirt. He told me he wanted a really cool tiger. I'm like, "Okay, cool. So let's look for a design of a tiger." I didn't draw it myself. We just kind of looked for a graphic that we could use commercially. So I found that. And then I was like, "Well, what do you want the background to be?" He's like, "Well, I want it to be more tiger print in the background." And then I showed him what the shirt would look like with the whole tiger print, with the tiger on the top of that, and then with the sleeves different and with the sleeves the same. And he decided he wanted the sleeve to be different from the rest of the shirt, one sleeve to be different. Because that's, at the time, that's how I designed all of my track jackets. I was always designing one sleeve to be different. And when I showed that to him, he's like, "Oh yeah, this is what I want." So I was so proud to pour into him and give him this opportunity to design something for himself and for his friends. And so we did it. We had a whole photo shoot for him. We had a couple of friends come and do the photo shoot with us, and it was so much fun. It was in the summer of 2020, I believe. We didn't really expect a whole lot to come of it. I just figured, we'd gift a few to his friends and that would be it. So school starts. This was around August. School starts and he's wearing his tee. He has all the colors. I think it was purple, red, and blue. And he had all the colors. So he was wearing them to school. His friends, as he had gifted his best friend, so they were wearing them to school. And then all the other moms were like, "Hey, where's this t-shirt from? I want to get one too." And when I tell you, it just turned into a thing. We ended up putting them on the website and we had adults wanting the t-shirts. It was so crazy, like this frenzy over Christian's tiger t-shirt. And so from there, it was like, okay, well, he wants to do more colors. So we designed more colors for him. And then it turned into a collection of tees and shorts for the next summer. Summer 2021, he did tees and shorts. And we were actually on a trip to Hawaii, just a vacation. And so we shot some pictures of him in his tee and shorts on the beach in Hawaii. And we got home, and I can't remember how it happened, but I think I reached out to one of the local TV stations and they had him on. We did a whole little segment on the news with Christian. His sister was there to model. We had some other friends modeling for us. And my husband and I were just there to kind of answer any questions. And it was just such a cool thing to see him feel so confident in, oh, look, my mom can do this. Well, I can do this too. And so I think after that, he kind of was over it and he didn't want to design anymore. But now he's into baking and he's done a couple of bake sales, sold out of all of his goods. I think it's really like seeing that you can do anything you set your mind to. It doesn't have to be something traditional. And him learning that for me was like, at such a young age at that, was just such a cool thing to see. And now to see him at 6 and now at 12, still kind of doing his bake sales and figuring out what he wants to do when he grows up, talking about he actually wants to own a bakery. Like, I don't think I had that entrepreneurial spirit at that age. Like, I didn't even think any of this was possible. So I'm grateful that my husband and I can give them this viewpoint of like creating something and being able to sell that to people, whether it's clothes, food, whatever it is. And then my daughter, who has watched me draw out prints like the one I'm wearing right now, she's watched me draw things out on my iPad, and she begged me to get her Procreate on her iPad. So I'm like, okay. So I got Procreate and I showed her just a few things, how to use it, how to make like gradients and ombres. And she was on the iPad drawing one day. She's like, oh, mommy, look what I made. Tell me why it was the most beautiful pinks and orange ombre print that she just drew up and designed herself on her iPad. And she was like, you should use this for one of your designs. And I'm like, you know what? I should use this for one of my designs. And it's so funny to me because whenever we're out and let's say somebody's like, oh, you designed Dressed in Joy. And my daughter will chime in and she'd be like, oh, yes. And I designed a print too. And it went viral. I don't know that it went viral, but it was a very beautiful print and it did sell out of all the dresses we had and everything that we had in stock with the blouses and pants, completely sold out. And she's very, very proud of that. And again, I just don't think it's something that she would have known was possible had I not been doing all of this in front of her. Like, I design at home, sitting on the couch sometimes. I'm not always here in my office doing my work because I really want them to see what's possible for their lives. So out of this print, I designed a dress. Oh, 2 dresses. I designed 2 dresses and I designed a set of blouses and pants. And everything came out so beautifully. And I actually sat with her and we designed like how we wanted the dress to look. I let her choose if she wanted to be like top to bottom, if she wanted it to be a little bit diagonal. She chose diagonal, so that's exactly what we went with. Also, for the top and bottom, I let her decide if she wanted to have the top to be pink to orange and the bottom to be pink to orange, and she actually decided she wanted it more like a sandwich. So we did it that way to make it exactly what she wanted it to be. Listen, this was her creative and her design, so I let her figure it out. And I think doing that really gave her the confidence to say, oh, one, mommy listens to me. And 2, I know what I like and I know it looks good. And then seeing that other people have bought it and sold it out, like that was a big boost in her confidence, I think. And it's interesting because I didn't really go into this business thinking, oh, I'm going to teach my kids how to be an entrepreneur. Like, that wasn't it at all. It just kind of evolved into that because, like I said, we did everything at home in the beginning. And we started really during the pandemic. So we couldn't go anywhere. So we did sometimes photo shoots together in the park, or we did, I was creating content at home. Again, I was shipping everything out of the kitchen and living room. Sometimes I try to wait till they went to bed so I wasn't kind of in the way, but they always just saw boxes in the living room. Whether it was boxes filled with orders that I had to take to the post office or boxes filled with clothes that needed to be packaged and shipped, it's just something that they got used to. It was just like a part of their everyday lives. So while it wasn't necessarily about the clothes or building a brand per se, I think it's more about them knowing that they can take an idea, take their creativity, and turn that into a business somehow. that their creativity, that, their skills or something they love to do can be turned into value. I love that they got to watch me take risks and try something new and do something I really love. Like, they know that I love clothes, they know that I love color and prints. So to see their mom do something that she loves and be able to be recognized for that and build a life and build a whole business doing that, I think is really, really going to help them in the future. I mean, it's obviously helping them now, but I think it's really going to help them in the future to see what's possible for them. So if you're a mom and you are building a business as well with your kids around, I don't want you to think of it as like, oh, I can't do this. I don't want them to see me working. I don't want them to see the messiness of starting a business, or you feeling like you're taking time away from them. Them seeing you work and them seeing you like work hard at something you love is valuable for them as well. They get to learn how women show up. They get to learn how ideas are executed, and they get to learn how failure and success looks, because not everything is going to be 100% successful, and that's okay. I think being able to see both sides of everything and knowing what's possible no matter your age. I mean, I started my business at 42, 43. So being able to see their mom pursue her dreams later in life helps in not making them think they have to accomplish something by a certain age. And even if my kids don't necessarily go into entrepreneurship and they do the traditional corporate route, I know that they will think back on these times and be like, wow, my mom really built something that she loved and she worked on something really hard that made her happy. And hopefully, they'll think about that and work on something of their own in the future. And I just think that's a really cool memory for them to have. I don't know. I think I'll look back on these times very fondly of having them by my side through everything and watching them kind of grow along with me, with my son and his t-shirt business and growing out of that and deciding he wants to do baking. My daughter doing her own design. She's still designing on her iPad. And so we'll see if there's another print coming from her in the future. But yeah, I've just really enjoyed this time with them, and I hope they look back on it with the same fondness that I will. And that's my little story for today. I will see y'all next time. Bye.